What if I told you the next penny you pick up could be the one every collector hopes to find? Don't scroll away, because the 1946 and 1957 D. Lincoln wheat pennies have fascinated collectors for decades, and most people never check the tiny details that matter most. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the history behind these famous pennies, the key features collectors search for, and the simple things you should look for before you spend another one. Watch until the end. You might discover that the most interesting coin in your collection has been there all along. The coin number 1. Have you ever held a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny in your hand and wondered where it has traveled over the last several decades? At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 1-cent coin, but to collectors, it represents the beginning of a new chapter in American history. Minted just after World War II, the 1946 wheat penny became one of the first coins produced during a time when the United States was rebuilding, industries were growing, and millions of families were starting a new era of peace and prosperity. Every surviving 1946 wheat penny has witnessed history, passing through countless hands while quietly preserving a story that cannot be told by modern coins. Although most circulated examples are common and generally worth only a small premium over face value, exceptional uncirculated pieces, certified high-grade coins, and genuine mint-era examples continue to attract serious collector attention because of their outstanding quality and historical significance. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first regularly circulating United States coin to feature the portrait of an actual historical figure. Lincoln's calm and determined profile on the obverse symbolized unity, courage, and leadership, while the reverse displayed two elegant wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. By 1946, this iconic design had already become one of the most recognized coins in the nation. Children saved them in jars, shopkeepers counted them in cash registers, and families used them every day without realizing that decades later collectors would search carefully for well-preserved examples. The year 1946 marked an important turning point for America. World War II had ended only months earlier, and the country was entering a period of recovery and economic growth. Factories that once produced wartime equipment returned to manufacturing consumer goods, soldiers came home to begin new lives, and millions of Americans looked toward a brighter future. The 1946 wheat penny became part of that remarkable transition, moving through grocery stores, restaurants, movie theaters, and neighborhood shops across the nation. Every coin became a silent witness to a generation rebuilding their lives after one of history's greatest conflicts. The 1946 wheat penny was produced at 3 United States mint facilities. Coins without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, those with the D mint mark came from Denver, and coins carrying the S mint mark were produced in San Francisco. Although millions of pennies were struck, collectors understand that production numbers alone do not determine desirability. Instead, attention is focused on preservation, originality, strike quality, eye appeal, and the possibility of authentic mint-made varieties. Even two coins struck on the same day can appear dramatically different after decades of circulation and storage. Condition remains one of the most important factors in determining collector demand. A penny that circulated heavily for years naturally develops scratches, darker color, worn lettering, and softer design details. Another coin carefully preserved from the day it left the mint may still display bright original copper luster, sharp lettering, and beautifully defined wheat stalks. Collectors especially admire coins that retain their original red copper surfaces because copper naturally changes color over time as it reacts with the environment. Finding a 1946 wheat penny with brilliant original color after so many decades is one reason outstanding examples receive greater collector attention. Professional grading services carefully evaluate every coin before assigning a numerical grade based on preservation, strike quality, originality, surface condition, and eye appeal. Even a slight improvement in grade can significantly influence collector demand. Registry set collectors often search for the finest surviving examples because nearly flawless 1946 wheat pennies become increasingly difficult to locate with each passing year. A beautifully preserved coin reflects not only excellent mint production, but also decades of careful protection. Another fascinating part of collecting the 1946 wheat penny is searching for genuine mint-made errors. Although the United States Mint maintains strict quality control standards, occasional production mistakes still occurred. Authentic mint errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, die chips, and broad strikes continue to interest collectors because they represent unusual moments during the manufacturing process. These genuine mint errors are completely different from scratches, dents, corrosion, polishing, or environmental damage that happened after the coin entered circulation. Learning to recognize this difference is one of the most valuable skills any collector can develop. Many beginning collectors believe cleaning an old coin improves its appearance and value. Experienced numismatists usually recommend leaving coins exactly as they are found. Harsh cleaning removes the original mint surface, leaves microscopic scratches, and permanently changes the appearance of the coin. Original luster and natural tunning are generally much more desirable because they preserve the authenticity and historical character of the piece. An untouched coin often attracts much stronger collector appreciation than one that has been polished or altered. The greatest lesson of the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny is that its true value comes from its history, preservation, and authenticity rather than exaggerated stories. Most 1946 wheat pennies remain ordinary circulation coins, but certified high-grade examples, beautifully preserved original pieces, and genuine mint-era coins continue to attract the strongest collector interest. By studying mint marks, condition, strike quality, originality, and authentic mint-made varieties, collectors discover that the real treasure lies in understanding the remarkable journey behind every coin. Every 1946 wheat penny is more than a single cent. It is a lasting reminder of America's post-war recovery, the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and the timeless appeal of one of the nation's most beloved coin designs. The coin number 2. The 1957 D. Lincoln wheat penny may appear to be an ordinary 1-cent coin, but every collector knows that some of history's most fascinating discoveries begin with coins that millions of people overlook every single day. Imagine opening an old coin jar, searching through a family collection, or checking your pocket change and finding a 1957 D. wheat penny that has remained hidden for decades. While most circulated examples are common and usually worth only a small premium over face value, beautifully preserved uncirculated coins, certified high-grade examples, and genuine mint-era pieces continue to capture the attention of collectors because they represent the final years of one of America's most beloved coin designs. The true excitement is not believing every coin is worth a fortune, but understanding the history, craftsmanship, and rare characteristics that make certain examples stand out. Lincoln wheat penny first entered circulation in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first regular United States coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. Lincoln's image on the front symbolized leadership, courage, and national unity, while the reverse displayed 2 graceful wheat stalks surrounding the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. By 1957, the wheat penny had already become one of the most recognized coins in American history. Families carried it in their pockets, children saved it in piggy banks, and businesses used it in everyday transactions, never imagining that collectors decades later would carefully study the smallest details on these familiar coins. The year 1957 holds a special place in the Lincoln wheat penny series because it was the second-to-last full year before the famous wheat reverse design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. As a result, every 1957 D wheat penny represents the closing chapter of an era that had lasted nearly half a century. Collectors appreciate these final wheat cents because they connect modern generations with one of the most iconic coin designs ever produced by the United States Mint. Holding one today is like holding a small piece of American history that survived through changing generations, economic growth, and countless everyday transactions. The small D mint mark beneath the date identifies the coin as having been struck at the Denver Mint. During 1957, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln wheat pennies for circulation across the United States. These coins quickly entered stores, restaurants, schools, post offices, and businesses, becoming part of daily American life. Although millions were struck, the majority experienced years of circulation, resulting in worn surfaces, scratches, and darker copper color. Coins that escaped heavy circulation and remained safely stored in rolls or private collections are much scarcer today, making them especially attractive to collectors. Condition is one of the most important factors influencing collector demand. A heavily circulated coin naturally loses some of its original detail and mint luster after years of use. An uncirculated example, however, may still display brilliant original copper surfaces, sharp lettering, crisp wheat stalks, and outstanding eye appeal. Collectors particularly admire coins that retain their original bright red color because copper gradually changes to brown as it reacts with the environment over many decades. Preserving that original appearance for nearly 70 years is one reason exceptional 1957 D wheat pennies receive such strong collector attention. Professional grading services carefully evaluate every coin before assigning a numerical grade based on preservation, strike quality, originality, luster, and overall eye appeal. Even a slight improvement in grade can significantly increase collector demand. Registry set collectors often search for the finest certified examples because nearly flawless 1957 D wheat pennies become increasingly difficult to locate as time passes. Every mark, every detail, and every trace of original mint brilliance contributes to the coin's overall desirability among experienced collectors. Another fascinating aspect of collecting involves searching for genuine mint-made errors. Although the United States Mint maintained strict quality control standards, occasional manufacturing mistakes still occurred. Authentic mint errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, die chips, broad strikes, and other unusual varieties remain highly desirable because they represent rare moments during the minting process. It is important to remember that these genuine mint errors are completely different from scratches, dents, polishing, corrosion, or environmental damage that occurred after the coin entered circulation. Learning to recognize the difference between authentic mint errors and post-mint damage is one of the most valuable skills any collector can develop. Many beginning collectors believe that cleaning an old coin improves its appearance and value. Experienced numismatists generally recommend leaving coins exactly as they are found. Harsh cleaning removes the original mint surface, creates fine scratches, and permanently changes the appearance of the coin. Original mint luster and natural tunning are generally much more desirable because they preserve the authenticity and historical character of the piece. An untouched coin almost always attracts greater collector appreciation than one that has been polished to appear shiny. The greatest lesson of the 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny is that true value comes from history, originality, condition, and authenticity rather than exaggerated stories. Most 1957 D wheat pennies remain ordinary circulation coins, but beautifully preserved uncirculated examples, top-grade certified pieces, and genuine mint-era coins continue to receive the strongest collector interest. Every surviving coin tells the story of America's past, the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and the final years of the famous wheat penny design. Whether discovered in an old collection, inherited from a family member, or found in a forgotten coin jar, the 1957 D wheat penny reminds us that even the smallest coin can preserve an extraordinary piece of American history for future generations.